Yeah, we'll get started.
Okay.
Yeah. So you had a chance to look at the bar chart code, Vishnu?
Yeah, Katir, but haven't got that video. I tried this
Okay.
code from your GitHub.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's working locally at least.
yeah, it's working.
Okay. You want to repeat the exercise quickly, or you want to move to the next session? How do you want to take it forward?
Uh, can you repeat once quickly? Like,
Yeah, sure. I'll just repeat the base concept alone for another 5-10 minutes.
okay,
Okay, after that we'll stop. I think so. I'll just explain you how to create the bar chart, that part alone. Okay.
okay, okay.
Yeah, just a minute. We'll start from scratch. So all I need is I'll take a new one. So first of all, as I said last class, we have to append this to the ID container.
Yeah,
Okay, and then we'll have a input array. We will have a color array. Okay, so let's define our inputs. So inputs will be like input underscore values is equal to, let's say, 100 or 200 690 and then we'll have a colors to be red, green, purple. Okay, so this is a palette. Okay, so now first of all we need to select the container. So we will be putting it in a variable called body underscore select document dot get element by ID. So I'll be a bit fast. Let me know since you already gone through this exercise.
yes.
In the interest of time, I will be a bit fast. Okay.
Hmm.
So we have selected the container with meaning the element with ID container. So the
Hmm.
statement is document dot get element by ID. Okay. So we'll be using this every time.
Yeah,
Okay. Now we have to loop into this array and create like uh, each div for this array. So what I'm going to do is create a for loop with I equal to 0, I less than input underscore values dot length I plus plus. That I'll show you. So console dot log of uh, I first of all. Okay. So here just to make sure that everything is working. I'll remove this as of now. The input connects. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3 coming in the console statement.
yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
And if you want to access the array element, the way you do is is you will say input underscore values of I. Okay, so and here I'm going to say I comma input underscore values of I. So here it will say first element is 100, so it's the index starts with 0. Okay,
Yeah.
and second element 400. So this is the index and this is the value. For example, just try it out. So here, this is the index. Okay, I'm editing my screen. You are able to see, right? I'm just drawing,
Yes.
trying to, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
So this is the value. So 3 is the index and value is the 680. Okay,
Yes.
and now let's go and create this div, append div of the body underscore select dot inner HTML. Inner HTML is to select the text inside the tag inner HTML plus going to say div with class equal to, I don't, as of now we don't need class, and we'll be having style with this 300 pixel, height is 30 pixel, background color is, as of now, let it be green, and then I'm going to close this div. Let's check whether we have this. Uh, so elements, let's go to the elements tab, whether we can check whether the divs are present here.
Mm.
So only div is present, other stuffs are not present. Okay, so probably we are doing some mistake here. Okay, so get element by ID. Acha, sorry, I have, okay, we have it here. We have, and then I'm saying we have made some mistake here. Let's say, so it's repeating the div. So we'll have empty div. So it has created. So here, if you can see, it has created 1, 2, 3, 4 empty divs.
Yes.
I'm going to give style attribute to here. Style equal to width width as 300 pixel, height as 30 pixels. So it has created the empty div. You will not see any background color. So let's add the background color. Background color, let it be green. So we have the green background. So we don't have any border in it.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll add class. So we already have a CSS which says border should be 1 pixel solid black. Okay. So we'll add a class here is equal to box. So we have the borders now.
Mm.
Okay. Now we have to split the string to make the width dynamic.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, so here I'm going to split it into two parts, the string, and add the symbol here.
Mm.
Okay, and then I'm deleting just 300 here. Okay, 300 alone I'm deleting, and that will come from my input underscore values of I.
Mm.
So we have different bars with different width.
Yes.
Okay, now I'm going to select change the color of. So color,
Okay.
so here is what I'm going to split and then say plus plus, and I'm going to delete this green here, and
Plus.
I'm going to say colors of I.
Mm.
So we have different colors here,
Mm.
and then we can go ahead and create the title. So this title attribute you remember, right? How we
Yes.
create it. So that I'm not going to repeat it. Okay.
Okay.
So you might got confused while converting this into a function, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So what we will do is we will convert this into a function now. Okay. So function we will say draw underscore bars, draw underscore bar chart. Okay. It gets some input values. Okay.
Mm.
So we'll make it simple. We'll get some input values, and it will have the color values inside itself. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm deleting this color variable here. Okay, and then placing it inside the function.
Okay.
So let me repeat. So I'm going to do is I'm going to create a function called bar chart, draw underscore bar chart, and place this piece of for loop code inside this.
Okay.
Okay, so now even now if you call here draw underscore bar chart, you one second. So draw underscore bar chart made any mistake? Yeah. So colors is what I have
Colors.
deleted. I have deleted the colors thing. So let me variable colors is equal to green, red, yellow, purple. Okay. So it still comes. So I've called the I'm calling the function here. Okay,
Okay.
I'm calling the function here. It goes inside, and input underscore values is already defined. Okay,
Mm.
colors is also already defined. Okay, so what I'm going to do is move this colors variable inside the function.
Okay.
Anyway, we are not going to use it outside the function, so let it be inside the function, local variable.
Yes.
Okay, and then check it out, it's still working. Okay, we
Mm-hmm.
can go one step further and say input underscore values. Okay,
Yeah.
and here we should say input underscore values.
Okay.
Okay, and then here this one I am defining it here. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
still it works. Okay, so now this piece of code, okay, what I'm going to do is this also I have to place it below this. This I'm placing it below, let's say. Okay,
Mm.
so this still works out. Okay, well, ideal thing also is better to do is pass this body underscore selector. We are using a body underscore selector here, right? This is also one variable, right?
Yes.
Pass that also explicitly, the container to which the bars has to be appended.
Okay.
Okay, so this you can keep changing. So what we have done is I created a separate function which is independent, meaning it doesn't as long as it's having these two variables, input underscore value, body underscore selector. Okay, it is
Okay.
not going to depend on anything else.
Okay.
Okay, so we can have like uh, we can repeat it, so we can have like container 2. Okay, what we can do is for container 2 we can have one more body underscore select underscore container 2 is equal to I'm just going to repeat the bar chart.
Mm.
So container 2 I'm saying here, okay, and I'm saying draw underscore bar chart
Input
input
value.
underscore values and body underscore select container 2. Okay, this typo error. So you'll get this twice. So if
Yes.
you have a this paragraph tab in between, you will get a space here. So here, instead of this input underscore values, you can directly pass like 100, 70, 340, 200. So you can pass something like that.
Okay.
Okay. So you can directly pass the variable and to which content will get appended on. Okay. So the reason I moved it to a separate function is we can call it as much as time we want. So right now here we are calling it twice. So you can call it as much times you want. You can put this in a for loop and create multiple bars,
Okay.
multiple bar chat. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So what I'm going to do now is take this function, okay,
Mm.
copy it, paste it in a new file,
Mm.
save it as barchart.js in the same repository.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So now here, if you call it, it will say draw underscore bar chart is not defined now. So it's not able to get this function up. Okay. So we have to call that barchart.js, embed that bar.js in our code.
Mm.
So it's right now it's a separate JS file. Okay.
Yeah.
So the way to do is similarly. So earlier you do this right. Type equal to text JavaScript script
Mm.
in the script just say source equal to barchart.js.
Yes. Mm.
Now we will get it again. So what will happen is it will embed that function into this HTML.
Yes.
Okay, so now if you we can have multiple functions inside it. Okay, so it just the JS file will have multiple functions related to this. Okay,
Okay.
and we can call those functions from here. So that is the advantage of having a separate JS file. So few advantages is one, your HTML code and your JavaScript code will be separated, which will be good practice to do. Okay,
Mm.
you will have, so else if you, let's say you have a very big function and you will have like 3 or 4 functions together,
Mm.
your bar chart underscore simple.html become very big. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's best to put it in a separate JS file. That is one. Okay, and JS files are usually called static files. CSS, JS files, right? Both these
Mm.
images. Okay, these three are called static files. Okay, so if you look at your network tab, okay, just check in your browser, go to your Chrome, okay, Chrome or Firefox, anything. Okay, you refresh your page. Okay, so if you see it has received 2 files. One is barchart underscore simple dot html, okay, and another is bar.just.js. So when retrieving this html page, here we are explicitly calling an external javascript file.
Yes.
So for this request, it has received 2 files. Okay,
Okay.
and if you have like external CSS files, so you will have a third file as well now.
Yeah.
Okay, so generally in web development concept, CSS, JavaScript, images. Okay, these
Mm.
3 files are called static files. Okay,
Okay.
and these
Mm-hmm.
files won't mostly change every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you have a CSS file written for your website, okay,
Yeah.
it is never gonna change for a long time. Okay, unless you make some development out of it. Okay, it's similar to that is also same case with JS files. So these are called static files, meaning they won't dynamically change.
Okay.
So what happens is in web development concept, static files, there is a concept like caching. Okay, you need not understand this, but when you move into a project, it will useful to do. Okay, there is a concept called caching where the JavaScript files or static files will not be called every now and then.
Okay.
Okay, browser will store its own copy. Okay, it will not request to the server every now and then, so that the traffic will be very less.
Okay.
So whichever content is not going to change, browser will not ask the server every time. It will store this itself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
so that is called static files and caching concept. Just remember these names. It might be useful for you in the later stage.
Okay.
I think you are not able to see my screen.
Yes, I lost.
Yeah, I think Shailaja is facing some problems.
Yes. Now.
Let me call her.
Okay.
Hi Vishnu. Vishnu?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I've informed her. I think she'll get back.